गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः रामाय रामभद्राय रामचन्द्राय वेधसे रघुनाथाय नाथाय सीताय पतये नमः सीताय पतये नमः. We are looking at Adhyatma Ramayana chapter 4, Ayodhyakand chapter 1 or 2 or something like that. Can't remember. Where is it? No, I would don't. One moment, I'll check which chapter it is. Chapter 4. Chapter 4, and we are on verse number 33 and 34. And here, Lakshmana, who is the younger brother of Sri Ram, he is very angry, and in that anger he has said some apashabda, he has said some ill words with regards to his father, with regards to his stepmother, with regards to his other brothers, that I'll kill them, I will imprison them, and I will punish the stepmother, and I will re-anoint you as the crown prince of Ayodhya because you only deserve it. And in response to that, our Ramchandraji, he is giving him from verse number that verse number 24 onwards. No, 22. From 22 onwards, the Lord Ram is giving advice to our Lakshmana, and here we are on verse 33 and 34. Here he says that Deho hamiti ya buddhihi avidya sa prakirtita naham dehaschidatmeti buddhir vidyeti bhanyate avidya sansruter hetuhu vidya tasya nivartika tasmadyatna sadakaryo vidyabhyase mumukshubhihi कामक्रोधादयस्तत्र शत्रवा शत्रुसूदना. He says deho ham deha aham iti ya buddhihi avidya sa prakirtitya. What is ignorance? Ignorance is this feeling that I am the body. When our intellect, our buddhi, our conviction is that I am this body, this itself is called as ignorance. Na aham dehaschidatmeti buddhir vidyeti bhanyate. While the realization that I am not the body but the pure consciousness of soul is enlightenment. Na aham dehaschidatmeti. I am not the body, then what is chid atma iti? I am the Chid Atma, I am the conscious, pure consciousness. I am of the nature of consciousness. Avidya iti bhanyate. And this way one gives up the ignorance and comes to be enlightened, and coming to recognize that I am not the body, I am the pure consciousness. This is wisdom, this is true knowledge. And continuing, he says, Avidya sansrute hetuhu vidya tasya nivartika tasmadyatna sadakaryo vidyabhyase mumukshubhihi. He says, avidya, ignorance, and delusion are the cause of the world, representing birth and death. Avidya sansrute hetuhu avidya tasya nivartikaha. And in this way, ignorance and delusion are the cause of the worldly world, in which birth and death is the norm, while wisdom, the truthful knowledge and enlightenment, frees or delivers one from it. So now find out, where are we engaged in? Are we engaged in confirming that the world is true, or are we engaged within to ourselves that the pure consciousness that I am is the truth? Are our thoughts moving towards the pure consciousness, or are our thoughts moving towards the world? If the thoughts are moving towards the world, we are caught up by ignorance. Ignorance is ruling us. If the thoughts are moving towards the conscious self, yes, the thoughts are also a part of the ignorance, no doubt, of the Prakriti. But these will lead to liberation, these will lead to their own consummation. Try if you don't believe me. Hence, tasmad yatna sadakaryo vidyabhyase mumukshubhihi kama krodad yatastatra shatrava shatrusudana. Hence, the seekers of emancipation and salvation should strive to gain true wisdom, knowledge and enlightenment. Tasmad yatna. Yatna is efforts, put efforts. Sadakaryo. And so put efforts, do always work towards vidya bhase mumukshubhihi. Put such efforts that will lead the seeker to enlightenment, salvation, etc. And and last one, kama krodadayastatra shatrava shatrusudana. O the vanquisher of enemies, lust, greed, yearning, anger, etc. are the enemies that create obstacle, hindrances in this path. And Lakshmana, he had spoken with vengeance, he had spoken with anger, he had spoken with hatred towards his father, mother, stepmother and brothers. And here is a word of caution that Ramchandraji is giving to Lakshman. And for that, to tell that anger and lust and desire is very counterproductive. All this foundation was being laid by Sri Ram for Lakshmana. When a person is very angry, suddenly to change that person's thinking is not easy. But Lakshmana is angry, but he is an intelligent person. And what was the way Ramchandraji calmed him down? By giving him a hug. He embraced him. Ramchandraji is coolness incarnate. He is chilled out anytime, any moment. No stress. Lakshmanji always hyper. And the moment Ramchandraji embraces him, he cools down. You can address the way Ramchandraji is addressing. To an angry person, you cannot talk like this. Now Lakshmana has calmed down. To that calm mind of the Lakshmana, this knowledge is being imparted by Sri Ram. And he is telling, oh, I know you can kill all the enemies that are there. not only here in this kingdom but in the whole universe. But the one who gets defeated by the enemy called lust, Kama, Krodha, Mada, Matsarya, lust, greed, anger, hypocrisy, arrogance, pride, etc. Such a person, these type of expressions in a person, they create obstacles in the path of salvation and emancipation. Ramchandra ji, along with his three brothers, which include Lakshmana, they all went to the same school. Sage Vashishta taught them. And what did he teach them? He taught them the Vedas, he taught them the scriptures. And teaching of scriptures is not only how to run a kingdom well, how to take care of the citizens well, but also the teaching, the main purpose of running a kingdom, the main purpose of being a king, the main purpose of taking care of the citizens, or any other activity that the king is involved in to keep the citizens happy and safe and nourished. He must not forget the goal, that the goal of life is not to eternally rule the kingdom. The goal is not only the king's but everyone's. The goal is emancipation and salvation. Goal is to come to true wisdom and knowledge, that I am the self, I am the Chidatma, I am not the Deha, I am not the body, I am the consciousness. This is wisdom. And if our life, while engaging in life, whatever has to be done, but if you can observe your life as in its whole, is the life moving towards emancipation? Is the life moving towards the recognition that I am the pure consciousness? Then it is well and good. Otherwise, we need some correction in our approach to life. And that correction Ramchandra ji is presenting to Lakshmana, and through Lakshmana to us. Tatrapi krodha evalam moksha vignaya sarvada yena vishtapuman hanti pitru bhratru suhrut saraveen krodha mulo manastapaha krodha sansara bandhanam dharma kshayakara krodha tasmat krodham parityaja krodha esha mahan shatruhu trishna vaitarani nadi santosho nandanavanam shantireva hi kamadhuk. Here he says in the tatrapi krodha evalam moksha vignaya sarvada yena vishtapuman hanti pitru bhratru suhrut saraveen. Meaning that out of these kama, krodha, lobha, maha, mada, matsarya, anger, greed, jealousy, envy, pride, arrogance, etc. There are 6 of them. Out of these, anger, wrath and maliciousness. Anger we understand. Wrath is when we want to finish off the other one. We want to, it can lead to sadism in its worst form. And maliciousness, self-explanatory. So here he says, out of these, anger, wrath and maliciousness are sufficient to put an obstacle, that is a spanner in the wheel in obtaining emancipation and salvation, because under its spell a person kills even his father, mother, dear ones, brothers and friends. This we see so many cases come to us where the husband and wife are not talking to each other. Just now a case came where the wife, the daughter is only 6 years old, but the wife, she called the police and got a restraining order that her husband should not come anywhere near 200 meters around her. Falsely accused him of abusing her and hitting her. And the husband comes, showed me the video. Swamiji, see, she had an affair. First time I excused. We are a young family. I have a young girl. No point. Okay, ho jata hai. Sometimes it happens. I excused. But now second time, Hindi we say, ulta chor kotwal ko dande. Mistake you are making, but the price the husband has to pay. Here in this case, sometimes it's the other way around also. And poor fellow is now under criminal charges, etc. and not behind bars. He got the bail, but I don't know what has happened. I'm away for 1.5 months now, so we'll find out. So the love for someone, infatuation for someone, is expressing as a manipulation and anger and wrath towards her own husband. See? Krodha mulo manastapah krodha sansara bandhanam dharma kshayakara krodha tasmat krodham parityaja. Lord Rama continues to say, the root cause of mental agitation and anguish, perplexity and vengeance is anger and maliciousness. Straight away, he is not giving any other excuse. It's only anger which keeps our mind disturbed and brings about a manipulative attitude, a malicious attitude towards the others. It is anger that ties one to its mundane world and results in decay or destruction of dharma. See, why does anger come about? Think. Dhyayato vishayan pumsaha sangaste shupajayate. Whenever we think about something, towards it we get attached. That attachment towards something that we have more than required engaged ourselves in results in desire. Desire has only two options when you have. One is desire is satisfied, and the second is desire is not satisfied. If desire is not satisfied, it will lead to anger. I'm just saying desire. It also means expectations. If expectations are not met, it leads to anger. Similarly, if desire is satisfied, if your expectations are met, then you start expecting more and more and more of the same thing. It leads to greed. And greed can never be satisfied. Then again it results in anger. And that is what our Sri Ramchandra ji is saying, that the root cause of mental agitations and anguish, perplexity and vengeance is anger and maliciousness. It is this anger that ties one to this mundane world. Desire is always of the worldly things and beings. My child, my grandchild, my house, my husband, my wife, my memories of the past. See? And that memory, that photograph, that CD, if it is broken or torn or whatever, immediately anger, without knowing why it happened that way, without finding the true cause. Why? Attachment and the desire that I want to relive my past, relive my child's past. And therefore, here when he says that, where are we? That it is the anger. So what I was saying was, the desire is always for some object of person or situation or event or something in this world. And world is finite. So your satisfaction can never be eternal. Your satisfaction also will be temporary. And because the world is continuously changing, and in that world also comes your body, breath, mind, intellect, your convictions, your ideas, your emotions, your health can turn to ill health, your ill health can turn into health. Nothing is permanent when it comes to this body, when it comes to this world. And what are we desiring? We want permanence. We want permanent happiness, permanent joy. By desiring the world, it is not possible, an impossibility. And when that happens, when a person becomes very angry, he forgets in that same sequence of thought, when undue, more than required engagement or value giving to a particular thing leads to attachment to that thing, that leads to desire leads to anger leads to delusion. Delusion is what? You don't know what is right and wrong. Lack of discrimination. You forget. Delusion means you forget that last time when you were angry, you broke the TV. This time you are angry, you are going to break the fridge. Is it? But we forget the force of anger is so immense that in that force of anger, what is right, what is wrong, what is to be spoken, what is not to be spoken, how one should behave, how one should not behave, all cultural values, all righteous living, everything is taken for a ride. And this anger results in decay or destruction of dharma, destruction of noble thoughts and conduct. Therefore, you should forsake anger. Not only Lakshmana, we also must give up anger. It's not worth it. In that anger, a teenage can abuse the parents. We all have experienced some or the other expression of anger in our life, and we have repented afterwards. This anger, malice, wrath, vengeance is the great enemy. Attachment, infatuations, yearnings is legendary. And this is the Vaitarani river. The Vaitarani river from where one goes to hell. Okay. From where Vaitarani river is this Kamakrodha Lobha Moha Mada Matsarya. This will lead to hell. Living at that level of desire and expectations and getting angry for small things, it will lead to hell. And in the other hand, here it says, so Krodha Esha Mahan Shatruhu Trishna Vaitarani Nadi. This is the river Vaitarani. It goes through the Yamalok and it leads to hell. On the other hand, Santosho Nandanavanam Shantireva Vikamadhuk. On the other hand, here he says that the mental satisfaction and coolness of character, desirelessness, these are the qualities, and they are known as the Nandan One, the forest in heaven, marked by peace, tranquility, serenity, happiness, and peace and tranquility, calmness is the, and one more thing he says, Kamadhuk. What is Kamadhuk? peace, tranquility, serenity, bliss, calmness is the Kamadhenu cow, the celestial cow of gods, which is all wish fulfilling. So, when we want our wishes to come true or our needs to come true, first thing that we need to do is be calm and happy. When we are calm and happy, automatically all thoughts are creative in nature. They cannot be destructive in nature. They will be for a greater good. They will be for self-improvement. They will be for emancipation. They will be, all the thoughts will take you towards excellence. Only when you are calm, cool, collected, content within yourself, desireless. And this will lead to what? And in such a desireless mind, where there is lack of infatuation, where there is lack of desires, where there is lack of agitation, where there is lack of expectation. See? Where all these are lacking, and they are replaced with what? They are replaced with calmness, they are replaced with serenity, bliss and tranquility. And now that same mind which was before an agitated instrument, taking itself towards the hellish experience. Hell is not somewhere above the clouds. Lack of peace, tranquility at this very moment is equal to hell. So what is that? What is your approach to life? If your approach is negative, if your approach is with expectation, if your approach is with desires, then that life that you are living is the Vaitarani river, which will take you to a hellish life. At the same time, if we have understood that we don't want to go in that direction, and we cultivate positive qualities, and our mind becomes calm, collected, cool, then that same mind which was the abode of hell has now become the Kamadhenu cow. That same person has become father, that same person has become brother. That same gold has become Ram, worthy of veneration. That same gold has become Ravan, to be despised. Which way do we take our mind? How do we mold it? Do we mold it with desires and expectations and maliciousness and anger? Or do we cultivate our mind with calmness, serenity, desirelessness, etc., etc.? In the absence of negativity, hellish experience, agitation is hellish experience. Anxiety is hellish experience of hell. Restlessness is, at this moment, or any time in your daily living, if you are experiencing restlessness, it is experience of hell. But any moment where you feel content, calm, peaceful, tranquil, that is heaven. That is the Kamadhenu cow, that is Nandanavan. So what is that forest of thoughts, where the thoughts of desirelessness are there, thoughts of expectationless are there, where thoughts of non-agitation are there. It is called Nandanavan. And what is its qualities? So we are approaching the Nandanvan passively and actively. Passively, non-agitation, no desire, non-anxiety, etc. Positively speaking, love, serenity, tranquility, contentment. When we look at it positively, in this heavenly forest, the one who is having the positive qualities like this, that mind is the Kamadhenu cow. And what is this Kamadhenu cow? This Kamadhenu cow is that anyone who approaches it with faith and reverence, she fulfills their desires. It's not that Maharshi Vashishta got Kamdhenu just because he did lot of tapasya. Sage Vishwamitra, who was a king, and there was a drought going on, and he came after a big long war. He was passing through jungle, going back to his kingdom. The army was tired and exhausted, and they saw the ashram of Sage Vashishta, and Sage Vashishta said, "Please come and freshen up yourself and have some rest, and I'll give you food, what each one likes." And Kamdhenu was invoked, and thousands and thousands and thousands of soldiers, each one was provided with fresh clothes, a good mattress, golden plates, and whatever they liked to eat, that was provided by the Kamadhenu. And when this was seen by King Vishwamitra, he said, "Oh, I think what will a sage do with this Kamdhenu? It will be more helpful for the kingdom to feed the masses of the kingdom." And tried to take forcibly the Kamadhenu. He wanted to fight a war with Sage Vashishta to take the Kamadhenu. Kamadhenu cannot be gained by force. It has to be, it comes to you as a result of inner integrity, inner synchronization with the divine. And this he realizes after many thousands of years of austerity. Every time he did it as a reaction only to gain the Kamadhenu. But afterwards he realizes that it is not going to come by way of force. It has to be earned through faith and positive efforts and positive thinking. Positive thinking which leads to peace, tranquility, contentment, etc. This is a message for us. When we are moving in this world, are we cultivating agitation? Are we spreading agitation around? Are we restless? Are we spreading restlessness around? Are we disturbed? Are we spreading disturbance around? Or are we cool, calm, tranquil, contented, happy for no reason? And one who is like this, automatically such vibrations go and affect other people also, those who come in contact with them. So one must be very, very careful in which direction. So when we listen to these words of Sri Ram to Lakshmana, it is a reminder for us. It's a reality check for us. Are we moving in the right direction? Or are we another Lakshmana who is ready to take revenge and hate and kill and at a drop of a hat? See? Continuing. Tasmat shantim bhajaswadya shatrurevam bhavenna te dehendriya manah prana buddhyadibhyo vilakshanaha atma shuddha swayam juktihi avikari nirakrutihi yavad dehendriya tranaihi भिन्नत्वं नात्मनो विदुः तावत् संसार दुःखौघैः पीड्यन्ते मृत्युसंयुताः तस्मात् त्वं सर्वदा भिन्नम् आत्मानं हृदि भावय बुद्ध्यादिभ्यो बहिः सर्वम् अनुवर्तस्वयाखिदः भुञ्जन् प्रारब्धमखिलं सुखं वा दुःखमेव वा. Hence, be at ease and calm down. Ramchandraji is telling Lakshmana. In other words, he is telling us, man, you calm down in your life. Everything is all right. You don't have to worry about the creation which you did not create, because the creation was created by the Lord. It is His responsibility to maintain the creation. Child has come into this creation, it is his responsibility. You didn't create the life in the child, you created only the body. So our approach in life, in interacting with life, should be with ease, with contentment, with this disposition that everything is all right. By doing this, what will happen? Tasmat shantim bhajaswadya shatrurevam bhavennate dehendriya manah prana buddhyadibhyo vilakshanaha. If we live a calm, cool, contented life in this disposition that everything is all right, nothing to be agitated about, the enemy in the form of the anger will not have any influence on us, meaning on the mind. The soul, Atma, is different and separate from the body. Dehendriya mana prana buddhyadibhyo vilakshana. The body, the indriyas, the mind, the pranas, the buddhi. So these are the panchakoshas. Panchakoshas are the Annamaya Kosh, Pranmaya Kosh, Manomaya Kosh, Vijnanmaya Kosh. All these are vestibules. These are the instruments. They are continuously changing, and you are not that. Atma Shuddha Swayam Jyotihi Avikari Nirakrutihi. And you are not this changing body, you are not this changing breath, you are not this changing mind or emotions, and you are not the changing thoughts or convictions at the level of intellect. Then what are you? You are the Shuddha Atma. You are the pure self. This Atma, which is different from this body, sense organs, mind, vital layers and intellect and discrimination faculty, and is pure and self-illumined. Swayam Jyotihi. Atma Shuddha Swayam Jyotihi. Atma is Shuddha, it is ever pure. Pure means what? Atma is that to which Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya cannot touch. And you who say I, you are like Lakshmana. He wanted to kill his father. He was full of anger. He was frothing in his mouth. He was shaking in his limbs, ready to protect Ram and take revenge from all those who presented in his eyes as enemies. No. We are the Atma in essence. This Atma is ever pure always. It can never be corrupted. It cannot be dirtied. It's ever Shuddha. And because it is ever pure, it is Swayam Jyotihi. It is self-knowing. It is self-illuminated. It is faultless. Avikari Nirakritihi. And it is without a blemish or tarnish, and is an avikari. Avikari means it is without any modifications. Body is with modifications. Breath is with modification, meaning it comes and goes. Body is continuously changing. thoughts are continuously changing, emotions are continuously changing, senses are continuous. Sometimes you are hearing, seeing, touching, feeling. Your convictions of life are continuously changing. Hopefully, it changes now also after listening to the words of Sri Ram to Lakshmana. And in this way, it is in this Atma is free of all modifications. Then it says, Nirakrutihi, and Yavat Dehendriya Pranaihi Bhinnatvam na Atmanaha Viduhu. And Yavat, as long as it stays separate from Deha, Indriya, Prana, Bhinnatvam. So as long as you see that you consider that this Atma is Bhinna. Bhinna means separate from, unidentified with Deha, body, Indriya, senses, Prana, the breath, and the Mana Buddhi also, na Atmana Viduhu, and come to this realization that you are not these equipments, you are not these instruments, you are that Shuddha, Swayam Jyoti, Avikari Atma. As long as a person does not realize or understand that Atma, the real self is different and distinct from the body, sense organs and vital airs, etc., till he doesn't realize. Till then what will happen? Tasmatvam sarvad, where are we? Tavat sansara dukkhoghaihi pidyante mrityu sanyuta. If you do not recognize that you are the Shuddha Swam Jyoti Atma, unmodified principle that you are, till then, Tavat, till that time, Sansara Dukkhoghaihi, you will suffer the miseries of the world. You will Pidyante Mrityu, you will suffer the death because you have got identified with the body, breath, mind, intellect and senses. Tasmatvam sarvada bhinnam atmanam hridi bhavaya. Therefore, O Lakshmana, so as long as you are entangled with these, till then there is suffering, till then there is pain, till then there is death. Till then one is entangled in life with these, and consequently suffers from the hordes of worldly agonies and sorrows, torments and tribulations. Therefore, you must treat your soul, pure consciousness, as separate and distinct from your mind, intellect, apparatus, etc. Follow this external world of deeds and actions with a behavior consonant with this outlook, and bear both the sorrows and joys, whatever you get, as destined for you by your previous deeds, with equanimity. See, just now I was with someone, they are suffering from kidney failure. Both the kidneys are gone, and now they are got the experience, they got the kidneys, and hopefully by next month the one kidney will be replaced. But when I went to their house just before the lecture, and their question was, but how can I determine I am the consciousness when I am going through this pain? The pain of whatever is happening because of kidney failure. It is hard, no doubt, and that is why from childhood, once the brain clicks in at 7-8 years old, from that time the children must be taught the purpose is not to enjoy the world. Purpose is to realize that you are the master of the world. And that is only possible by remaining equanimous to the world of Sukha Dukkha Samay Krutva Labha Labho Jaya Jayo Tato Yuddhaya Yuddhyasva. Remain equanimous in joys and sorrows, victory and defeat, gain and loss. Life is all these opposites, health and ill health. Life is opposites. Who is a wise person? Who is not affected, influenced, who is not under finds himself entangled, is excited when there is joy and is depressed when there is sorrow. No. This is the lot of the people. Sri Ram is reminding our Lakshmana that don't be like that. So you treat whatever you call the I, the soul, the conscious, individual consciousness, you consider it to be separate from the body vestibule. Consider it to be separate from the senses, the body, the breath, the mind, the intellect. Because you are the watcher of this. How can the watcher be the watched? You are noticing. You were once upon a time a child, then you noticed you were a teenage, you were a youth, now you are old. You have seen the changes you have noted in your presence, the body has gone through the changes. You know that sometimes the eye is able to see clearly, sometimes it is not able to see clearly, then again it is able to see clearly. There is no reason to be miserable because eyes can see or not see. I can see now, excited. Can't see now, depressed. Same thing with every sense. We get disturbed. Oh, I am forgetting things. Every night you go to sleep, you want to forget everything. That's when you feel the maximum bliss. You feel refreshed, rejuvenated. Then why you keep talking to yourself, I'm forgetting, I think I'm getting old, I'm getting dementia. It's a good thing that is happening. Mind is naturally calm. It is wanting to forget. Let it forget. But then we are intelligent, no? Then how will the world function? Then how will I do my duties? What if I forget to lock the door? What if I forget to put the gas off? All this is manorajya. Unwanted thinking. What if? Has it happened? No. Then why worry and become anxious? Instead, remain calm, cool, collected, tranquil, serene, happy for no reason. Not because I am happy because my desire is fulfilled. No, I am happy just because. No reason. That is how you feel when you are in sleep. There's nothing to associate with. That's why you are happy. You keep your mind empty under n number of circumstances. Sukha dukkha samay kritva, labha labhau jaya jayo. Joy or sorrow, that is the experience of the mind. You are not the mind. Gain and loss is the experience of the mind. You are not the mind. Seeing or not seeing is the experience of the eyes. You are not the senses. Waking, dream and deep sleep is the experience of the intellect. You are not the intellect. Then who are you? Who am I? I am the pure consciousness. Atma, Shuddha, Swayam Jyotihi, self-illumined. That I am. Claim who you really are. The more you associate with the world to be complete, the more you are broken into pieces. That is the Vaitarani river. That is a living hell. Continuously agitated, continuously restless, continuously anxious, continuously kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsarya. And you call that life? It's a living hell. Then what is life? Sukha dukkha samay kritva labha labhau jaya jaya. To recognize that I am the pure consciousness, I am the continuous principle who does not come and go. Whatever comes and goes, reject it, watch it without giving value and importance to it. Do this service to yourself. Right here and now you will be happy. Our is, if I do this, then tomorrow maybe I will be happy. Nobody has known that. Nobody has become happy next day. Either you are happy right now or you are not. That should be our benchmark. That am I happy right now for no reason? Therefore, you must treat your soul, pure consciousness, as separate and distinct from your mind intellect apparatus. Follow the external. Then, how do we live this world? How do we live in this world then? Tasmat tvam sarvada bhinnam atmanam hridi bhavaya. This we have talked about. Now, how to live in this world? Buddhyadibhyo bahi sarvam anuvartasva makhidaha bhunjan prarabdham akhilam sukham va dukkham eva va. Very simple, he has said. How do we live then? If we are continuously contemplating that I am the pure consciousness, I am the infinite, eternal soul, I am the self-knowing principle, I am the Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma, that is my true nature, then will I not become ineffective in this life? Then here the teacher says that then when you are moving in this external world of deeds and actions, what should be our attitude? That whatever is taking place as a result of our destiny. So go through it happily. Go through it happily. Knowing that whatever is happening as a result of either as God's grace, but if not, it is the prarabdha, it is the destiny. I must have sown some seeds in the past, they are fructifying now. Can't blame anyone. I have to live through them and exhaust them for once and for all without creating any new seeds. For that, equanimity is very important. So when he says here, with a behavior consonant with the outlook and cope with both the sorrows and joys, whatever you get as destined for you by your previous deeds with equanimity. So whatever is coming to us as a result of, as we are going through life, accept it as prasad. Best is not even prarabdha, not even as destiny. You can't take it that way. I prefer to say it as it is the prasad, it is the blessings of the divine. Go through it, but with a joyful attitude. If there is pain and suffering, endure it joyfully. Learn to laugh at it rather than succumb and be spiteful. Forbear, dhira purush, dhairya, forbearance. Forbearance with, another word for it is titiksha. To forbear, not forbear, I don't know what to do, so I am just suffering now. No, joyfully go through it. Forbear with joy, endure with joy, whatever life is throwing at you. And life doesn't throw at you anything. Whatever life is throwing at you, you always interpret it as joyful, as like or dislike. I like this, what life is throwing at me. I don't like what the life is throwing at me. And the result of like and dislike is joy or sorrow. So in the end, be equanimous, both in joys and sorrows. If you get what you like, you are joyful. If you get what you don't like, you are sorrowful. And this is how you are moving through life all the time. Remain equanimous, endure joyfully. So, two things: have no expectations for the future, and have no regrets for the past. 99% of your mind will settle down. And how to bring this about? By shifting your attention from the world of multiplicity to the conscious principle that you are, which is of the nature of purity, which is of the nature of knowledge, which is Swayam Jyotihi, it is self-illumined, which is constant, and it is other than the senses. Coming to this conclusion that it is other than the senses, it is other than the breath, because senses are continuously changing, breath is continuously changing. It is other than the mind, the emotions and thoughts are continuously changing. It is other than the intellect is continuously changing, as the waking is changing, the dream is changing, and the sleep is changing. And who are you? The changeless principle, the constant one. In this way, serve yourself. Sometimes it's, I don't know to say, we laugh or we feel the pain. To see people committing sabotage after sabotage after sabotage because they don't understand this simple principle. The soul cannot be burned, the consciousness cannot be cut, the Atma cannot, that verse is there now in the second chapter. Bhagavad Gita. The Atma cannot be cut, the Atma cannot be burnt, the Atma cannot be drowned. You are that, man. It is not something above the clouds, or it is not only in the Mahatmas who are realized. You are also that. The one who has realized is called a Mahatma. The one who has realized that he is that. We'll conclude here and we'll look at the last part of these teachings in our next class. From Melbourne. How does it matter? From Zoom, wherever it is. So contemplate on this. Keep reminding yourself again and again what is worthy of remembering and what is not worthy of remembering. World is not worthy of remembrance. Atma is worthy of remembrance. And correct your interaction with the world. It will only help. Don't find excuses, but in spite of everything, keep contemplating on the self, that I am that. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Just sit quietly for a moment. हरिओम.